Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANS Gear, and we are looking at 4 brand new trigger styles for your CS2 from HK today. We've got them set out in front of us, and I'll start from my left to right on what they are called. Now, these triggers here will only fit the CS2. They are, from left to right, the Delta, the Diva, the Relic, and the Scorpion. You can see why they call this one the Diva. It looks like that mud flap girl emblem that you see on mud flaps and trucks all the time. Scorpion looks like a scorpion's tail. Delta and Relic, I think, might have been just names they came up with because they sounded great. So let's go ahead and put one in. They are aluminum triggers, and you will see them in other colors, I'm sure, besides black as the time progresses. But at the point of shooting this video right now, we just have black ones in stock right now. So let's move these out of the way, and we'll put the Scorpion one in there because I think I did an Instagram video where I put the Diva one in. So if you're viewing this right now, that video probably isn't even on Instagram anymore. So we're going to take the trigger pin out. It's simple to get out. 5/64 Allen key, just put it right into the trigger pin. We're going to unscrew it and then pop our trigger pin right out. At that point, we can take the trigger grouping right out of the gun. From this particular point, there is a screw that's in the middle of the trigger right here in the shoe, which is this purple part right here. We're going to remove the screw out of the trigger shoe, and that's what that looks like right there. Set that to the side. As soon as we move that screw out all the way, this middle barrel will fall out. That's why I've got my finger underneath it so it doesn't fall out. If I was just wrenching on that without my finger there, it would drop out and potentially get lost. So I'm holding it in place to the point where I'm comfortable letting it fall out. So I've got room here. I can just let that drop out. And it has a hole in the middle of it. The hole is where the screw goes through and holds it in place. And depending on where we set the angle of the trigger and tighten this down, this barrel allows us to adjust that trigger shoe. So we can pull the trigger shoe out. We'll take our new one, or our different one, we will put it in, and then we're going to drop the barrel back through the hole. And I want to kind of think about this before I drop it in, where this hole is going to line up. I want the hole to line up with the hole in the trigger so that I can easily get the screw through there. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it a little bit. I think that was pretty close. I'm going to take my screw and thread it back in. And there you go. Now, if I was to put this in like this, you can see that the trigger is going to be facing way backwards like that, which we don't want. But this allows us to adjust it. So I'm going to loosen this up a little bit. That allows me to pivot the trigger forward like that. Then I can go ahead and retighten it down again. And that will allow me to then come up through the top of the frame, or the bottom of the frame, put the trigger back in, make sure my hole lines up there. And now I can tighten down the trigger pin. And there we go. Easy install of a brand new trigger. And it's that quick to switch back from the old one, put it back in, take the new one out, switch it with one of these. So you can get multiple triggers just for whatever mood you happen to be in, or design you like, or color, or whatever it happens to be, and easily swap them in and out and set it up the way you like it. It's very simple. And you don't have to remove the trigger out to even adjust where you want the angle of the trigger to be. I can just loosen up that one screw that holds the trigger in place, and I can move the angle all around here without actually activating the trigger. And then where I find a spot that I like, go ahead and just tighten it back down. It's a very simple trigger design, very user friendly, so that you can get it exactly where you want it. 4 new triggers from HK, the Delta, the Diva, the Relic, and the Scorpion. They're available on the website. Order yours now through ansgear.com.